next round still probably be a good pick.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more depth there with D tackle, but a lot's going to go in round one. A lot will go in round one. So I think if they use that first pick in the second round, they could really be set.
So I'm guessing the reason Von Miller was crying because he heard my pick of him not going in the first round.
Right. He
I got picked. Fuck you, Lord Cat. I got picked, man.
And you can never take that away from me, no matter how mean you are.
Yeah, I'm sure they could probably put Von Miller at the end for on third downs, put his hand down, him across from Dumerville, passing situations. But he's not a bad pass coverage guy either.
Hey, commercials. Yeah, tears of joy he wasn't going to Buffalo or Carolina. We're out of Bud Light. Oh, well, who gives a shit? That's nice.
What a dilemma.
What a dilemma. We'll actually have to drink a real fucking drink.
What?
Oh, fuck.
I want that ass. Magic beer phone.
I don't want a phone that pours Bud Light. How fucking lame is that?
Well,
Castle Brown or something, man. Fucking Bud Light.
Doesn't have to be a particular brand, whatever. Magic Limitless Fluid, come on.
Next thing you're gonna tell me you don't mind if it's Coors Light either.
I don't drink, I don't give a shit.
No. Fuck you, Nick.
I'm sorry that my blood alcohol level is much lower than both of you.
I have not had a drink today, thank you.
I've only had 2, thank you.
Shane will join us again momentarily, we think. Let's call on him. Let's have a chats. We're gonna call people now.
Alrighty. Alright. So we're back to let me tweet this link out here. So far 2 for 2. I've been hitting up Vaughn for a while now, and to Denver at number 2. And I wish I would have stuck with it for our for our mock draft on Tuesday, but the Darius stuff was getting a little bit too loud for me. As Scott says in chat, I think Von Miller proved at the Senior Bowl that he can play in the 4-3. He can be pretty good in pass coverage and kick back. So, I'd be pretty happy with him in Denver. They could get an elite pass rusher. And it looks like Buffalo is going the way that we thought they would. Marcel Darius, I think it's a tremendous pick for Buffalo. I think he just fits that system to a T. He's very versatile, can play that DN spot in the 3-4 or back to the 4-3. So, Marcel Darius, good pick. Yeah, if you guys have questions, feel free to post them in the chat room. Scott's going to be calling in, I think, after the 5th pick, so him and I will chat for a while there, and then we'll see what happens from that. Actually, WMD, I'm saying his name correctly. He actually corrected everyone at the Combine. His name is actually Marcel Darius. Oh, and Goodell said it wrong. I don't have the sound up enough to really hear Goodell announce the pick, so I should probably get on that. But I'm scared it's going to come through the stream here, which I don't want. So let me know if that happens. Hope you guys don't mind me eating some. This will be a long process, and of course it's tradition. I hope you're enjoying your Papa John's large sausage pizza. Let me know what you guys are eating as well. Yeah, you know, I like Doris's versatility. Um, you kick him out there to end, which is probably what he'll play in the base 3-4 that they have, which is what he did a lot at Alabama. You know, he was double teamed. You know, people talk about Fairley's disruption. I think Darius's disruption was just as effective, even though he didn't have the statistics. I think he was better against the run. I think he's very stout for point of attack. If they want to kick him inside at times, I think they can kick him inside in the 4-3, or even put him at nose for some situations. So it's very intriguing to me how Buffalo's going to use him. But this is going to instantly upgrade one of the worst rushing off defenses in the league. Buffalo was pretty terrible against the run. So. So up to 62 people. Let me know if you have questions. If you're watching and want to get involved in the chat room, just sign up for Justin.tv. Takes about a minute. You can post in the chat. You can definitely start to interact. Cincinnati picks in. I'm guessing it's going to be A.J. Green. That's what the buzz has been. Some people think it might still be Gabbert. I don't know. Let me know what you think. But that's probably what it's between. That depends how much Mike Brown buys into Carson Palmer, how much they like Blaine Gabbert. I honestly think it has to be A.J. Green right here. Julio's not going to go before A.J. Green. I think that talk was a lot of smoke. A.J. Green just more polished, gets more separation. Obviously, Julio Jones has that 40 time, but A.J. Green is that dominant of a wide receiver. A great vertical threat, you know, very smooth in his routes, can go over the middle. I think he can do everything. He's my #1 player in this draft. I think he's just a dominant player. And I like Julio Jones. Don't get me wrong. I like Julio Jones a lot. I think both of them have Hall of Fame potential. But give me A.J. Green. I think he's the more sure and more consistent thing. All right, so there you go. A.J. Green to Cincinnati. Whew, I don't know what that situation is going to be. If Carson Palmer comes back and you lose T.O., maybe even you keep Ocho Cinco, that's kind of a scary offense. If they could get a running back here at some point, I like the pick. Now, could this also be a backhanded maneuver to get Carson Palmer to come back? Hey, we just added the best wide receiver in this draft. We just added what might be the best wide receiver of the past 4 or 5 years to your team. You sure you don't want to be in Cincinnati anymore? So, you know, that's I think that's a very interesting take on it, that Mike Brown may use this as leverage against Carson Palmer. You can go ahead and retire. You can go ahead to another team. We'll trade you now. But we just gave you the best wide receiver in this draft, so we'll give that to another quarterback if you want. I'm not saying that's the reason they made the pick. I think they made the pick because it's a position of need, and it's definitely an area that Mike Brown wanted to address. But that's got to be a little bit backhanded there. So I think it could be an interesting take. Now, Arizona, I think this is the linchpin pick here. They go Gabbert. They go Patrick Peterson. Do they look another way? Do they trade down? Lots of talks of trades at 5. I'm guessing Peterson. That's what I have in my mock. I just think it's too good of a player for them to pass up. Gregory Toller is a nickel. He's not a #2. I'm not sure if Ken Whisenhunt wants to put another pick into a quarterback this early. I think Arizona is going to stick with the quarterbacks they have, maybe get a veteran in there. So I think it's going to be interesting. I'm just looking at the chat real quick. I don't see any questions or anything too much. Could they go Julio Jones? Go Cowboys. I'm not sure if I really buy them going Julio Jones. I just think you have Steve Breston, you got Andre Roberts last year who was effective. Really, Doucette started to do a little bit more. So I don't think I'm going to go with those guys. I definitely think that they're going to go away wide receiver. I think it's Gabbert or Peterson. Maybe an outside shot at a Robert Quinn or a pass rusher. I know that's a big need and something they do want to address in this draft. If Von Miller was there, they would take him. I think that would be your outside shot. Yeah, you know, Fitzgerald's contract's running out, so I don't think the talk is that he wants to be traded to the Chiefs, WMD, but that it's a possibility because of some of the history there. So I think it's going to be very interesting. So far, second place in the WYF NFL Draft Guru Challenge, stepping it up. There we go. I got Cam Newton correct, getting some of these early picks correct. First place to see real possibility of trades, I think 6. I think 6 Cleveland's the first real possibility. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Cleveland's got to stick there and choose between Fairley and Julio Jones. The next one would be 9 for Dallas. I think that's where we're going to see our first trade, is going to be at number 9. I think someone will shoot up maybe New England to get Cameron Jordan. I think that's a strong possibility, and we'll see who falls to 9 as well. I know Cleveland will land at number 6, big rumor, right before the draft. Not going to happen. You know, I mean, look, a lot of people, it looks like what Adam Schefter said, Falcons were close to get number 4. Man, that would surprise me. That would surprise me. Because it's going to cost you a first next year at least, as well as your first round pick this year and probably second this year. And if you don't want to give up one of those, then you better do it a different way. Scott Tesco, I'm tracking the WYF poll. Jared just tweeted that out, that I'm in second place 45. Now, I think I missed A.J. Green. I think I had him going later, but I only had like 8 points on it. So, yeah, I think 1 this year, 2 this year, 1 next year might get it done. That's still a lot of ways to go. I wouldn't be surprised if they won a 3rd or 4th tossed in there along with that. It should be a big deal, maybe a late round pick too. Moving up from 27 to 6. Huge. I mean, that's huge. And I don't have the chart in front of me. I can look at the value chart. I know that's kind of out of whack. It might cost you a few picks next year and a few picks this year. But if I'm any team, I'm taking that. I'm really going to take that and just try to build up my picks and build up my teams. Move from 13 to 5 and 6. That's a little bit easier. If the Lions want to move up and try and get Patrick Peterson here, then this is the pick to do it. And for them, I think it costs you your first and your second and maybe a mid-round pick. And depending on that value, I think it could work out. So Arizona's probably talking trade. Atlanta wants to move up for Julio Jones was the big rumor, L21. So I think that's impulse, if I remember correctly. Man. Yeah, Grant, you know, maybe it does. But I'm not sure. You know, NFL Network has ruined the picks. ESPN has not really shown players on the phone. They showed Darius, but not much after that. You know, Dowling, safety or corner. I think you can play corner. I think you'd be a little bit safer pick at safety, moving to free safety. You don't have him in traffic as much. I get scared of him as a cornerback. He showed that he can play the speed to do corner, but his hips, very stiff. I don't think he's fluid enough or drops down enough to play corner. I'd rather have Razai Dowling at safety myself. Welcome, everyone. If you're just coming in, then definitely sign up for Justin.tv, get in the chat. But it looks like we got a pick. Patrick Peterson, Arizona. I mean, this is a nasty tandem in Arizona. That excites me. If you're a Cardinals fan, then you got to like this. You got Patrick Peterson, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, who I think is heavily underrated. Your secondary is pretty beast in Arizona right now. I love this pick. One of the best players in the draft. And honestly, Patrick Peterson is one of the safer players in this draft. Not a lot of people are talking about that. If he doesn't work out a corner, well, let's say he's more of a nickel dime guy, okay? Then I think you're going to get Patrick Peterson as a return man. And we have, let me make sure this is up. Scott, are you there? I'm going to have to rework this a bit, I think. All right, I'm trying to get Scott on the line here very quickly. We'll have